Hey guys, welcome back to my playthrough. So far, we are down to just a few picks left. So everything is filled with quickly. So I'm gonna go out and check where I am so far to see a little progress. Alright, so we're down to just the picks that I'm gonna need. Every single one of them, I'm done. Now I will have So the only ones I need to read is chapter 16 of Misunderstanding Serenades, of Freedom and Flames, and oh wait, that's the wrong play. Well, the ones that I need is of Understanding Serenades, of Freedom and Flames, and of God's Miracles. Those were the only ones that I have done before. And now I'm currently reading this one, of Hope in the Future. That will be the next one I'm going to read. And I'm going to read it right now. I'm going to read chapter 17, and it's called Of Hope in the Future. So it is a zombie apocalypse. There are disease and death themes, and then there's going to be a happy ending, okay? There's going to be a happy ending for this one shot, okay? All right, let's read the summary. The world has gone to mad. After the chaos of the first couple of years has calmed as people have learned how to survive, they settle into a place they can go from. A cure still escapes them, but hey, they're working on it. They got a well-fortified town. They're allowed small luxuries. They got sister cities nearby. And Lance dating the most perfect boy in the whole gosh darn world. He's been trying to get Kate to look on the bright side, to hope a little. But when Lance's world threatens to fall apart, he's the one who has to cling to hope. He's always thought Keith would be his future, but he had no idea how right he was. So according to Whitney, that it is more organized. Keith is in the introduction. Okay. So nothing. I mean, hope you better get ready here because there's gonna be a good thing in the apocalypse. I mean, there's some mostly bad things, but there are some good things there during the apocalypse. And the good thing is to survive. That's all I see. So anyways, let's get started with this pick and see how much stuff that we can do on that. All right, let's do this. Of hope in the future. By the way, this is gonna be a very long one, so please bear with me as we get into this. The road and the tree line look just as deserted as they have all day. The land still goes over the area with a fine-tooth comb. Checks, double checks, triple checks, then sweeps back across for good measure. Nothing, not a single shambler or walker in sight. At one point, movement catches his eye, but it's just a squirrel. Makes him jump all the same, though. He doesn't think it's that weird to get jumpy these days. Pidge sneers at his side all the same. Shut up, Pidge, he mumbles. You done yet? You've been looking for like 15 minutes. Just being thorough. You swept back and forth about 4 times now. I'm gonna go for a fifth because we can never be too safe. He tries to keep it light, but there's a seriousness that lurks beneath the surface. The grim truth, he knows it tells heavily on Pidge's shoulders just from his eyes. So he quirks a smirk and adds, besides, you gotta be extra cautious because the bay is going out. I think he'll kill you if he heard you call him that. He's heard it. He acts like he hates it, but I think it's grown on him. Just calling your boyfriend like a normal human being and it's an opportunity to make him get all blushy? No thanks. I adore my flustered babe. Gross. Incredibly. He happens as he makes his round sweep. No movement. Things have been quiet for days, and this morning is no different. The last time they saw a shambler was a week ago, but even then, it was only two. He's not foolish enough to think their numbers are dwindling that much, but they got a good location that doesn't get much zombie traffic. All right, coast is clear. He lowers his binoculars to fish turns. Lean over the railing to wave down at the group assembled below. Good to go. Lance moves to her side, lean over to catch Kate's attention. He's not at all surprised to find her already looking. He's seated in the back of the open Jeep, one hand resting casually above him on a cage. Hair pulled back, but bangs still fall over his face. Dressed already to run, and no doubt armed to the teeth. Armor strapped to his arms and leather strapped over his shoulders. Keith, he grins, hanging over the railing to blow it nauseously laughs. Be safe, babe. He expects embarrassment. Was banking on it really. But instead Keith grins. And that's pretty good too. Then Keith is climbing out of the Jeep, using his grip on the cage to swing himself out of it. He hits the ground running, springs into the watchtower. He bypasses the ladder because he's just extra like that and throws himself at the wall. It's a ramshackle old thing, but it's sturdy now after years of repairs and reinforcements. He climbs the beams and crossing posts easily, scampering up in just a few seconds. By the time he reaches the top, gripping the railing on either side of Lance's own hands, Lance is waiting for him to get a grip. Keith's fingers curl into the front of his shirt, tugging him forward until he's leaned dangerously over the edge. Balance precarious as Keith surges forward to capture his lips. The kiss is hot and rough, firm enough to keep Lance ground even, while his heart takes up into the stratosphere. He melts in the touch, tilting his head and sweeping his tongue into Keith's mouth, but Keith keeps their kiss chaste, even as he nips at Lance's bottom as they pull away. Keith, hurry up, Irving calls from below. Make out with your boyfriend later. We gotta go. Razavi follows. Keith's rank is mischievous, eyes stay in the dark. There's definitely a warm prickling beneath Lance's cheeks, and he really hopes it's not noticeable. But he smiles back, giving Keith one last peck. Hurry home, samurai. Keith presses their foreheads together, nearly hard enough to hurt, nuzzling until both their hair is mucus and their noses bump together. Keep an eye out, sharpshooter. And then he's gone, scampering back down the guard tower just as quickly as he come up, sprinting back toward the Jeep and swing himself into it as it pulls forward, headed through the first open gate before pausing. The first closes behind him, and only then does the second gate slide open with a creak and a groan. The rest of the caravan follows in the same fashion, carrying those supplies and plants to their sister town, Oriente. Lance watches them disappear on the road, heart aching and lips still tingling. Gosh darn, I love that boy. It said to himself, a thought that managed to slip past his lips, unbidden, whispered on the tail end side. He doesn't realize until said it out loud, until Pitch responds. Gross, he scoops, reaching out to ruffle her hair as he goes back to surveillance. Shut it, Gremlin. Have you told him? She asks after a moment, a little hesitant, a lot curious. Lance lets out a startled laugh. Oh, God, no. He looks at her, leaning back against the railing with her arms folded at her chest, lips pressed as she looks him over. What? She shrugs, looking out the road. I think you should. There's that heaviness again, a lot of space for things left unsaid. But those things are always easy to read. They're always the same. Never know how much time is left. Never know what could happen. Loss is part of their daily lives now. They don't need to say the words aloud to feel them. I'll think about it. I'm not gonna go back to me. So this is where they're applying for the set, okay? And they have to get all the supplies and stuff just to keep them surviving. And then they have to keep an eye on the zombies. I mean, Key and Lance, they're starting to make out and they live and start kissing. But they're in the middle of the apocalypse. Make out later, guys. Key and Lance, make out later, okay? We're in the middle of the apocalypse. They don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Lance is having someone like Key to be around in this apocalypse. Like, dang, how could he? All right, let's move on. Keith doesn't contact him until late night. He's in the room he shares with Keith, lounging on her bed with his headphones on, listening to music to pass the time. The room is dark and the house is quiet. The others have already long since gone to bed. He knows he should be sleeping too, especially when he's got such an early shift tomorrow. But he knows he won't be able to sleep until he knows Keith is okay. So he waits, his communicator in hand, resting on his chest, daily tapping against his sternum. One hand behind his head as he stares at the dimly glowing stars they had stuck to their ceiling. Once upon a time, people might have told him it was childish to have him on the ceiling, a relic from childhood. But these days, everyone understands the importance of simple joys. It's just past midnight when the communicator lights up, radio crackling to life. And Keith's voice deep and stiff, awkward, as he always is when he's not sure if someone is on the other line. Lance, are you there? It's me, Keith. A soft chuckle escapes in his earmost headphones. Let's in the communicator to respond. I know it's you, you dork. We're the only ones who use this radio frequency, especially designed by Hunt and boosted by pitch. He and Keith are the only ones who use the complex frequency in the range of their communications band miles. Well, technically, Pitch, Uncle, or Rancher uses too. Their own special group chat frequency. But whenever he or Keith are out on mission, they are to respectfully stay off it to allow them their privacy. I wasn't sure if you were asleep or not. You know, I never sleep until I know you're safe. You have an early shift tomorrow. You should be sleeping. So I like you're not happy to talk to me. You already spill your secrets. I know you like my voice. It's relaxing. I heard it annoying, loud, and obnoxious, but never relaxing. Well, it's relaxing to me. I like knowing you're okay. You're sweet. Speaking of okay, I take you guys made it to the first safe house. Yeah, we got here a couple hours ago. Place is clear and still stocked. Cars are charging. Ran into any trouble on the way there? How's the area? We passed by a few groups of shamblers, but they weren't close, so we just drove on. There were a couple near the safe house when we arrived, but we took them out pretty easily. Theirs show some signs of wear and tear now. I think a few waves have moved through here. Yeah, makes sense. We got a few waves passed out a couple weeks ago, too. Any walkers? No, just shamblers. Haven't seen walkers in a while. I haven't either. That's a good sign, right? Means less people are turning, or there's not a lot of people left to turn. Always surprised so with you, huh? Just realistic. Babe, you know I love your direct and straightforward attitude, but we're gonna work on teaching you how to hope a little. Oh yeah? And how you're going to do that. I'll give you some examples. I hope you had a good day. Most of it was spent driving. I think I got sunburned, and my butt definitely fell asleep. I hope Rizabi had a good travel remix. Her song choices were terrible. I hope you got enough to eat. I'm full, but it didn't exactly taste good. Canned food isn't the same when used to Honk's cooking. I hope your bed is somewhat comfortable. It smells like damp dust, and I'm basically sleeping on the ground. But at least I have some privacy in this safe house. I hope tomorrow is smooth sailing. Hope the cars are fine, the roads are clear, and you don't run into any ports. I hope the other safe houses are as clear as this one. I hope you find some good trades in Orient, and I hope you miss me as much as I miss you. Lance, I've been gone for less than a day. Are you saying you don't miss me? No. The bed is lonely without you. The bed is cold without you. We really need to start going on missions together. You're the best shot and the best set of eyes we have. It makes sense that Sheer wants you on guard too. Yeah, well, I'd rather be out there keeping an eye on you and your booty. Lance, it's a good booty. Lance, wish I could be more splendid right now. Me too. I'll be home soon, okay? I'm holding you to that. Don't let Rizabi and Kincaid take forever in Orient. I need my cuddle buddy back. Okay, so they have this communicator. This is a very special communicator where can they just have a conversation just between Keith and Lance. Everybody has communicators, but these communicators, the special communicators are just for them. No, talking back and forth to see how they are. And Keith and the other teams are now fully they're safe in the house. And describing about that house is the safe house, raw. Because Lance is still on that guard duty, part of the guard duty, to make sure there are no zombies or anything like that. So yeah, that's just part of it. We made it to the second safe house. Thank God it's so late. I was starting to worry. Sorry. We decided to raid around the neighborhoods on the way here. They're mostly wiped clean from old raids, but we still found some useful stuff. Yeah, like what? Some clothes, blankets, shoes, linens, towels, cleaning products, stuff that's useful, but no one took in the first wave's raids. Yeah, when you're on the move, you're not really worried about bed sheets and Windex. But that stuff is super good now. You can tell Kathleen we found some seeds and garden supplies. And Razabi found some old game consoles. Seriously? That's awesome. Yeah, I've got some stuff for you too. You did? I found some slippers and new soap bath soap. I also found a bunch of bathroom products like bath salts and bath bombs stuff. I know those aren't like necessary things, but you always talk about how you miss things like that. And we're at a point where we have our necessities and we can start treating ourselves to things they make us feel human again. At least that's what Rizal was saying. So I got you some things. Lance? Sorry. I'm here. I'm just. Are you okay? You sound. You sound upset. Did I do something wrong? No, you freaking beautiful thing. I'm just overwhelmed. Keith, that's amazing. Thank you. I just. Are you crying? Yes, I'm crying because my boyfriend is the sweetest guy on the whole dang planet. I finally going to take it back, and my skin is going to be so smooth again. You need to hurry home so I can show you how much I appreciate you. Keith, don't laugh at me. I think he's going to laugh at you. So they made it in the second house, and they have all of some good stuff. And he wanted to give, all the stuff that Borderlands, and it's pretty nice that they're here. So very safe. Yeah, that's good. We made it to Orient. Sweet. How's Sister City doing? Good. They built up a lot since we were last here. The defenses are sturdier than the air has been cleared out of shamblers. They say they get walkers sometimes from the nearby city, but it's not bad. How's their fields doing? Better now that they got a working irrigation system. They're giving us some livestock in return for the planet's caffeine sense. Really? What kind of livestock? A few chickens, a pregnant goats, and a cow. Oh my god, we're getting a cow. Yeah, they have to spare an extra truck for us to transport them. A cow, Keith. I never thought I'd see a cow again. I can't believe you're this excited over a cow. Stop laughing at me. I'm not. I can hear in your voice. I don't know what you're talking about. I got to go though. They're hosting us for dinner and they want to share news with us. Yeah, business calls. Keep me in mind when you visit the market tomorrow. Yeah? I always do. You're the best. I argue that you are. We'll be here all night. You're right, because we're both stubborn people who won't back down. Have fun in Orient, babe. Good night, Lance. Night, Keith. Miss you. Miss you too. So yeah, they finally made it to Orient and they got some things ready. No, and the meetings and all that such. Awesome. Let's see how in Orient starts to get things straightened out or something. All right, let's go. The little town started out as no more than a compound. They found an old elementary school nestled next to a neighborhood and claimed it as their own. They've been traveling for a long time and they just wanted to try to settle down. The place had good resources, far away from the main foreign migrations, and with little work could become easily defendable. They reinforced the school first, started building up a new wall around the existing fence. They started picking up people, more stranglers who were just poor souls looking for a home, looking to survive. They took them in. More hands meant their construction went faster, was safer. Once they had their foundation, they started expanding. Absorb the neighborhood. It stopped being a compound, started being something more. They call it a town because it makes them feel more human. It's got that nostalgic ring to it. It's been a while now, and they're going strong. Their numbers are growing. Their gardens are flourishing. They got some livestock. They got scouts, scavengers, and hunters. They're in contact with several other growing towns in the area, and they've formed a sort of coalition. Safe houses dot the roads between them, but he hopes someday they can just connect to form a bigger safe area. The best part about building routes, though, they're able to focus on building up technology again. They got solar panels for energy, and they got some geniuses in town who are constantly working on splicing together old tech to build new things. Not to mention being still, having a lab means that Cran and his team of scientists can work on trying to find a cure, or at least a vaccine. Lance! He leans his hip against the railing. Lance then the final haunt of the guard's heart. Let's abroad. What's up, buddy? Laura and Grant need you for a test. Shiver runs through him, leaving him stiff and by tickler. It's a strange thing. This makes us dread and hope. Every test brings the opportunity for success. But so far, they've never been successful. Failure can, or not, be demoralizing. Still, he chooses to dwell on hope. He swings the strap of his rifle over his shoulder, slinging it around to his back before swinging himself over the railing. He slides down the ladder with practiced ease, dropping the last few feet before turning face to Honk. You taking my post? He asks, holding out fists. Honk smiles, bumping into his own. Yup, any moment today? Nada. How'd you think this test would go? Honk smile falters, his own dread and doubt creeping in surface. We had a breakthrough in the lab, and Corinne thinks we're on the right track. Even if it doesn't work, the test results can help us make it better. Gotcha. Well, here's to hoping. Good luck, dude. He jogs up through town, leaving Hunk to climb the guard tower. He finds the others atop the western wall. Gather on the pub and looks out over an open field. Hey guys, he says as he reaches the top. Their greetings are sparse and direct, face set in grim determination and wariness. Far too cautious to let this go, but he can see the excitement in their eyes. Allura has them the specially designed rifle, one that now feels familiar in his hands. I already loaded it with a serum. He nods, hefting the thing in his hands. Start stable again? Yes, a little more sturdy this time so it doesn't shatter on impact. A good call. He snorts, stepping out to the wall next to Finch. She holds binoculars to her eyes, sweeping slowly over the area beyond the wall. Are we sure there's one out there? The gods said there was movement out this way earlier today. There. He follows the direction of her finger, eyes laying on the body stumbling through the tree line. He lifts the rifle, sitting against his shoulder and eyeing down, says, Corinne, if you please, my pleasure. And then let's loose a series of high-pitched whoops, whistles, and calls, easily drawing the zombie's attention. It comes stumbling out from the trees into the open field as it moves toward the wall. It's a shambler. That okay? He doesn't take his eyes off the zombie, but he can hear the curse in Laura's voice. A walker would have been ideal, but at this point, we can't afford to be picky. Any search data will be helpful for the next phase of vaccine, Grant asks. If you will, my boy, Lance asks. My pleasure. He takes a shot, and a dart sinks in his shambler's chest. He stumbles, looks about as confused as a zombie can get, and continues forward. Lance snores rebel. How long we gotta wait? Laura raises her hand, and the gates below them open. A team already assembled and equipped darting out to wrangle and capture Shambler. We're not sure, but we'll keep it for observational lab. It works. Me too. Okay, so finally get themselves tested to make sure the rifle hits the Shambler. There could be a walker, be safe. Walker, Shambler. Shambler is like some sort of a zombie. Walker is like the person who's alive and tried to shoot out. So yeah, there's gonna be some walkers versus Shamblers. So they have this little term for this one thing, but we'll save that for later. Okay. So get the rifle thing because he's a sharpshooter. Remember, Lance is a sharpshooter. You can take down one zombie at a time, one shambler at a time. Okay, let's go. The cure doesn't work, but no one seems surprised by the fact. While the news sends a wave of melancholy through the town, hanging heavily on minds and shoulders, Laura Crans seemed pleased with the test results. While it hadn't worked, it had apparently given them information they need to push in the right direction. Lance doesn't really care to listen. He doesn't understand at all anyway. Still, he can't help but feel a little bit of hope when he sees the enthusiasm on it. So that's a kind of a situation. I'm not gonna get us off, but hey, we have some situation going on with this vaccine to make sure that this vaccine works so that they are immune to the shamblers or zombies. Because they're in the middle of apocalypse. And they have to do anything they can to keep them survive. Okay, let's do this. Keith? Keith? Keith. Okay, you're probably busy. Hope your day was good. It's late and I'm gonna sleep, but I miss you. Keith? It's been like 2 days and I haven't heard from you. I just want to make sure you're alright. I know stuff was busy, but and you're on mission, but just hearing your voice would be nice. Okay, well, good night. Keith, Keithy boy, Mangy McMullet, Emo Samurai Overlord, most beautiful man in the entire universe whom I care for dearly and would really like to hear from. I hope you're okay. Okay, so we heard from others. You guys left Brian like a couple days ago. And I don't want to sound clean or anything, but like, what the hell, man? They rated Allura and I have to hear after the fact that you guys are on your way home. Did you lose your communicator? I suppose if you did, I'm just talking nothing. Sorry for the ramble. It's just, I'm starting to get worried. Please just, are you there? Come back soon. Lance? Keith! Oh my god, Keith. Holy crap, finally. So good to hear your voice. What's been going on? You haven't. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Keith, are you okay? You sound a little weird. Lance, I'm sorry. Hey, babe, what's going on? You sound kind of ragged. What happened? Are you okay? What you sorry for? Keith, I love you. Keith, Keith. Oh, heck no. You did not to drop down on me and disappear. Now you're sounding weird and freaking me out. Keith, Keith, get back here. Oh my gosh. You better be okay because I'm going to kill you. Oh boy, Lance has really missed out a lot of stuff. I don't know why he's saying I love you part, and now it's not where the hell is Keith? Is he dead? Is he turned into a zombie? Is he part of a shambler? Who knows where he is? Alright, but let's move on. Lance sliding down the ladder of the watchtower the moment he sees their cars appear on the road. By the time the caravan has made it through the double gates, he's waiting with the others, arms crossed tight over his chest and legs shaking with nervous energy. You feel it ricocheting around them, bouncing off the other as they fidget and stand far too stiffly at his sides. The party had scurried around in questions about Keith, and everyone else just as anxious as Lance. Jeep pulls up first, and Lance is already on the move. The familiar mop of black hair is nowhere in sight and makes his heart beat in his chest, constricting painfully. Where is he? Shouts, voice pitch unknowingly, high in inspired panic. James slides out of his driver's seat, hands held up defensively as Lance makes a beeline for him. Lance, his fist curls up on his shirt, forearm pressed against his chest, his slams jeans back against the side of the car. Where is he? He hisses between clenched teeth. You can see the fear in James' eyes, but more than that, you can see the guilt. His lips purse, twisting the frown as he looks away, avoiding Lance's eyes. Tell me, he says, voice curves and pulls him forward an inch before stepping back. Tell me, it's my fault. His eyes snap up to where Rosa B has no to his side. She meets his gaze, but she looks small. This spreads to a small frown brows furrowed. Her eyes are red. and she looks just moments away from crying. Shoulders hunched, both her arms over her chest that she might break. It's my fault, she repeats, a whisper. Lance lets go of James and turns to face her. Voice quiet and crackling as he asks, what happened? We got caught up in the horde. A lot of them were shamblers, so we didn't take it too seriously. The walkers caught us off guard. I nearly got bit, but Keith, you pushed me away. He saved me. But we managed to get ahead of the pack and take refuge in the safe house. James continues, voice on hard. He sounds exhausted, and it's only now that Lance can see the bags hanging heavily in his eyes. But by then, it was too late. He was bit. Kincaid's voice cuts through them all, firm and resolute and grim. The sound of falls is heavy, and Lance feels his weight. Oh, we had to seek the refuge in the safe house for several days. Lips the tear says. We picked up a few as we could, and eventually the rest of the hordes passed. We tried to bring Keith home with us, but he refused. He said he didn't want to upset anyone with his condition. Bull crap! Behind him, you can hear the for Lance? Bull crap! He turns, glaring at all of them, eyes between as they flinch away. Not upsetting us, my butt. See this? I'm freaking upset. He pulls the rifle strap from his shoulder, shoved past James to climb the driver's seat from the Jeep and setting his gun next to him. The keys are still in his ignition, and he revs the engine back to life. Hans, what are you doing? I'm going after him. He spits out, all fire and determination. And he clings to the rage, to the fury. He knows if it peters out, he'll crumble apart. Can't afford that. Not right now. Not when he needs him. His heart hammers wildly in his chest, aching with every pulse. It feels like he can't breathe. His body is numb and distant, with more on autopilot than anything. He feels dizzy, unable and refusing to accept this. But it's not going to stop him from taking action. He meets Allura's gaze, eyes narrow and chin lifted in defiance, daring her to. I'm not letting him be a noble a-hole and die out here by himself. I'm going to find him, and I'm going to bring him home. Something grim and hard takes over Allura's features. But there's a spark in her eyes. Fire. That same fire that's kept me scared and alive for this long. She nods. Early move. I'm coming with you. She lifts the tears weapons from her. Tell Corinne to pair the lob and hurry with the next batch of the vaccine. She offers Lance a grin smile as she swings himself into the passenger seat. It sounds right, but there as he nods. Glad to not be alone. I'm coming too, Hunk says. Me too, Fish echoes. Lance barely gives them enough time to climb the jeep, restocking their weapons before peeling out the gate and down the road. Heart bruising his wrists and hands, shaking on the wheel as he tires squeal on the asphalt. I know where Lance has been, and Lance is. I don't know where Keith has been. He bit, but I don't know where Keith's going. It could be part of Shamba or trying to survive. Lance has had enough of where to find Keith, and he's going to find himself. But not before Allura, Hunk, and Pitch. They're coming on Lance's journey to find Keith. Where is Keith? And that will be the mission. That this is very, very urgent. Okay, let's go on. They run through a couple of staggering groups of shamblers. Lance can't be asked to stop or slow down. He drives recklessly and wildly, and he can see the others stiff in their seats as they grip the cage. But none of them tell him to slow down, and he doesn't. He slams on the brakes when they reach the safe house, hard enough to make the tire squeal. He's out of his seat and runs for the door without bothering to turn off. Keith! He shouts as he bangs the door. Keith, I swear to, you better open this door right now. The lure is there, gently but firmly pushing him aside so he can unlock the door. He's marching through the second block of tunnels. The house is fortified and small, stocked with essentials and supplies for anyone needing a place to crash. Keith! He tears to the house, red, panting, ragged, was cracking. Keith! He faces his burst through one of the bedroom doors, finding Keith curled up on the mattress against the wall. He's curled into the ball, hollow in on himself, pushed himself as far as he can into the corner, staring at Lance through wide, wild eyes and not aiming. Lance? You asked, suspicious and disbelieving. Lance started his throat, eyes burning as they well with tears. Oh, Keith! He stumbles across the room, falling to his knees on the mattress and crawling towards his boyfriend, reaching for her. He finished away. That fear flashed in his eyes. No, no! His voice wavers, and Lance can see him trembling. Bench wrapped haphazardly around his neck and shoulder. It's already started bleeding through. Stay back, Lance! Please! He doesn't listen. He faces forward and grabs hold of Keith, leaning his back against the wall as he wraps Keith up and holds him to his chest. For as much as he looks, he wants to protest, doesn't. He sinks to Lance's hold, arms wrapped around to cling to his shoulders and his waist. He bursts his face in the curl of Lance's neck. He can feel how ragged his breath is there. Shh, he whispers, running a hand up and down and Keith's back, nuzzling to the side of his head as his dig for his head to cradle him close. Shh, babe, I'm here. I'm here. You're here, he echoes, disbelief tucked. You're here, he echoes, disbelief thick in his voice. You're actually here. You big idiot, says Tiny, body shaking as moisture exceeds the last shirt. Of course I'm here. You shouldn't have come. Yeah, fat chance of that happening. Hands. Um, his voice cracks. Body shot is I'm going to die. And honestly, the fact that you thought I would let you die alone is just plain insulting. And to also drop your first I love you when you think you're a Connor. Freaking cliche, man. Not cool. He laughs. It's a short and broken thing. Wet and rag. But it's like gosh darn music to his ears all the same. My hands pulled back, forcing Keith far enough away to slip his hands up his neck, cupping his face delicately between his palms, fingers digging into his hair, thumbs brushing along his cheeks. Keith looks terrible. There's a finishing of sweat on his skin, fastening his messy hair into stems of white. His face looks gaunt, far too pale and bags under his eyes, far too dark. His eyes look bloodshot, and his lips look chapped. He smells like death, and Lance can't ignore the blood-soaked bandage his purple vision. Still, he meets Keith's eyes, those beautiful eyes, staring at him with disbelief, sorrow, guilt, and relief. I'm sorry, he whispers with innocence. I didn't think. I saw it going for Razavi, and I just acted. You told me to be safe, and I wasn't. And now, Lance smiles and doesn't feel his force his thought might. His thumb strode over Keith's touch. Hey, hey, shh, it's alright. I know you're just self-sacrificing idiot who's always gotta be the hero. Keith smiles small, eyes sad but grateful. Lance leans forward, pressing their foreheads together. Keith's skin feels far too hot and far too clammy. He refuses to look away from those eyes. Listen, we're taking you home with us. No, but don't argue. You can't change my mind. We're taking you back. I want to try to fix things. And and even if we can't, I am not letting you die alone. Lance, voice broken and cracked. Keith's hands slipping around him, fingers curling to his shirt. Lance grip on his face tightens, almost bruising, but he refuses to let go. Listen up, you stubborn, beautiful. He swallows thickly, hands shaking his fingers against Keith's skin. He can feel his voice about to crack, but he pushes away. I love you, and you're coming home with me. Keith's breath hits. Tired by shudder as I trip close. He swallows hard. This person to a weak scowl. He nods, barely, filled with defeat as Spice sags. Okay. Oh wow. There's a lot of things happening. The key is so aggressive. Finds that one of the house and there. Keith is there. Because Keith thought they was trying to attack, but be here wants to be in his zone, just trying to then survive and keep him safe. But he's an idiot for being a hero. Why does he think this way? That's what Lance keep asking questions. But Lance is gonna be there to keep if Keith's in somewhere in trouble, Lance is gonna be there for a rescue. Ugh. That's problematic, Keith. That's a problem. Okay. Lance lets her drive back and sits in the back with Keith cradled on his lap. Eyes closed. The rest is beneath his lids. Red rag and brows furrowed. His jaw keeps clenching. Every time a spasm of pain shudders through, and his heart aches. He combs fingers through his hair, whispering soft words to him that he can barely keep track of. It feels like there's a vice in his chest. It just keeps constricting. Tighter, tighter, tighter. When they make it back, they rush the key to Cran's lab where they set him up in a quarantine room. Cran takes blood samples before rushing off. Pigeon hung at his heels. Laura hovers, and he knows why she's hesitant to leave. You can go, Laura. I I don't think you should be left alone, she says, dancing around what she really means to say. He's gotten used to reading between the lines the past few years. I don't think you should be alone with him. It could turn at any moment. I don't trust you'll be able to shoot him in time. I don't want to lose you too. And his jaw clenches, and he brushes the hair back from Keith's forehead. His violet eyes are still bloodshot. The white single with yellow pupils unfocused and dazed as he stares back. I'll be fine, Laura, he says, what's that? Lawrence, please. He looks at her over his shoulder. Lips pressed to her brow. Please, just trust me. She sighs, reluctant and heavy, as she removes the pistol from her belt and sits it on the nearby table. Okay, but please be careful. She lifts the gun, and the sight of it makes Lance tongue twist. Vile sour on his tongue. Before she takes a shower, turns to him to feel as human as possible. He can barely stand, so Lance just sits in the spray, diligently and gently washing his hair and body before drying him off and dressing him in comfortable sweatpants and a t-shirt. The bite on his neck is a nasty one. The tear of flesh by rotten teeth, marring Keith's perfect skin, bruised on the edges, oozing blood and pus. It looks enraged and angry, and Lance's stomach churns and bandages it. Then they sit in the quarantine room atop the old mattress. Lance is back to the wall, Keith curled and cradled in his lap, face pressed to his neck as his breath comes back against his collarbones. But as long as he can feel that breath, he's fine. Oh, unfortunately, he is now part of this quarantine room because I'm so like he got bit. Because man, Chambers got him, but they better have to hurry because hurry and find him a cure, find a cure for Keith. Otherwise, he'll be part of the Shamblers. That's really sad. That's really sad when I have to read this. The mattress is old and smells like mildew and dust. There's something sour in the air, something bitter, something that reminds him of the taste of Bob and staleness of sweat. He knows it's not just Keith. Death lingers in the air here. Few make it out of the quarantine rooms alive. It's late, they can't sleep. They lie on the mattress scared, legs tangled and bodies closed. Holds Keith's hand, fingers intertwined. Keith's grip tight and relaxes the waves. Time with the furrow between his brows and the grimace on his lips. Lance knows he's in pain, but he never says a thing. Nothing more than soft whimpers that slip between clenched teeth. Unable to stop himself, Lance reaches out with his free hand, fingers tracing the curve of Keith's face. His eyes flutter open, dazed and taking a moment to focus on Lance in the dark. Lance? It's me, babe, whispers. I'm here. Keith's hand signs around his other hand reaching out to press against Lance's chest, signing up the greatest thing. It hurts. His features are pinched, whispering. I know. You can hear the thickness in his voice. You can feel the burn behind his eyes. He doesn't want Keith to see him cry, so pulls him closer, tucks him beneath his chin, and wraps arms around him. Keith's hands grip at the back of his head. I know. Lance, promise me something? Anything. If I turn, don't hesitate. His grip tightens, throat filled restricted, and heart torn in his fist. I promise. Because as much as it hurts, he knows Keith. Because as much as it hurts, he knows Keith needs this. Keith needs to know Lance won't let himself be hurt. Keith needs to know Lance won't let him become one of them. A shell of himself. Promise me something too? Anything. Promise to keep fighting, no matter how much it hurts. Just fight it. They're working on a cure, which need to keep fighting. Cures have never worked before. Lance feels his lips curving to a small rise up. Evans feels the warmth running down his cheeks and tastes salts. That's where the whole hope thing comes in again. Okay, he says after all. I'll I'll try. Thank you. His voice cracks, body shuddering as a sob convulses him. He buries his face Keith's hair, uncaring that he smells like infections. I love you, he whispers, broken and wrecked. Please don't die. Wow, this is getting so emotional and man, oh my god, I'm feeling so emotional with this one job. Whew. I really need to continue right now. I don't have time for me. I don't have time for me to cry. This is probably the first one that I have ever cry ever been crying for a long time. Like waters will come out soon. The cures don't work, but they keep trying. Crank comes rushing in every day with a new vial of new syringe. Looks just exhausted and haggard as Vance feels. So do the rest of them. Alora, Hitch, Honk, sure. Until none of them are getting sleep either. They wait, eagerly searching for any sign of improvement. There never is. They rush back out of the room, noticing more forlorn with the turn. Days has no improvement, but neither has key turned yet. The virus can take anywhere from 5 to 15 days to shut down a body. Depends on the person and how their bad health is. Depends how bad the bite is. They have days to it, but it's not looking good. Lance doesn't leave the room. They try to get him too, but he refuses. They make sure to keep Key clean and make sure he leaves. Get him to drink water, but Lance won't take no for an answer. Just grates with ration Key and shushes him and whispers to him as he whines. That's falling hurts. Just stays with him sometimes. He isn't very responsive. Out of fever and fits of sleep most of the time. But Cher doesn't seem to mind. Neither are much good for conversation, but that's fine. Lance doesn't tell him to go away. He can see from the torn look in Cher's eyes that he needs to be near him as much as Lance does. They've been through a lot together, Keith and Cheryl. Cheryl refused to let Keith give up and dragged him through the hell of the early month after everything went to crap. He was there, and Cheryl, when Cheryl was bit, he had been the one who refused to give up and had cut Cher's arm off and cauterized the wound. It's a miracle he didn't bleed out, but Keith wouldn't let him save his life. Lance can see that it's killing Cheryl. They can't save Keith. The most they can do is stay by his side to wait. Lance can do anything for him. And by staying by his side while he is still safe to make sure that he's okay. While everyone is still looking for a cure, they have to find a way. Whew, that's rough. That's real rough. That he's been so. Who's there? Who's there? Okay, hold on a second. Lance has never been one for regrets. He messed up plenty of things. He's made mistakes, but all those mistakes have helped make him who he is today. There's no point in dwelling on regrets because that can hamper his ability to move forward. And ever since the world has gone to hell, move forward is the only way to survive. Still, he has one major regret. He regrets dancing around Keith for years. He regrets being petty. He regrets letting himself stay closeted for so long. He regrets letting envy get in the way of admiration, in the way of what he actually felt. He regrets not being honest with himself sooner. He regrets taking so long to get with Keith because commitment is terrifying in the face of the apocalypse. Attachments come with heartache, and the fear of letting someone just sort of lose them is paralyzing. It didn't make his move until they found a semblance of stability in this little town. And even then, he thinks he waited too long. Because no matter how terrifying it is to lose someone, now that he's facing it, he wishes he had spent more time with Keith. Wishes they had more memories. Wishes he had come to terms with his feelings, let himself be happy a lot sooner. Maybe then he would have been able to tell Keith he loved before death had come to tear them apart. Lance doesn't regret a lot of things, but he regrets being a coward. He should have kissed this boy a lot sooner than he did. Now he's ready to lose him forever. Lance have been there for Keith. He do such things, but being regret is that he wants to be with Keith so long and he never had a chance to before this apocalypse happened. Before he even has a chance to tell him that he loves him. And now has to live with regret, and that's more problem, man. But that's who he is, and we have to move on. That's it. That's the only way we have to do. He doesn't remember falling asleep, but he supposes exhaustion has a way of driving people under like that. When he wakes, he's groggy and disoriented. He knows something's wrong. It takes a moment for it to click. When it does, Lance sits up abruptly. Because Keith is not in the bed, he groans, his head spins, throbbing painfully. Though he's not sure if it's from dehydration or sleep deprivation. Both, normally. He holds his head, props on an elbow. When his vision clears and his head is no longer spinning, he stares at the empty space next to him. Eyes dart around the room. It's empty. Which doesn't make a dang bit of sense because he hasn't been able to hold his own weight for days now. Lance has practically had to carry him to and from the bathroom. So there's no idea where Keith might have gone unless his eyes started the bathroom. Close. Unless he felt his change coming instead of waking Lance so he doesn't have to go through it alone. Instead just crawls to the bathroom like the self-sacrificing idiot he is. The blankets are thrown back and he's already swinging his lips to the floor when the bathroom door opens. He looks up, prepared for the worst, and finds Keith. Keith standing in the doorway. Keith standing in the doorway with a towel wrapped around his waist and now dripping over his neck and shoulders. Hair wet and pushed back from his head. Keith blinking at him in that adorable, owlish, innocent surprise that Lance loves so gosh darn much. Steel crying out from the bedroom behind him. You're awake, he says. You're standing. He lifts a hand, scratching the back of his neck as he looks away. He looks sheepish. He hasn't looked sheepish in days because he's been racked with guilt and fear and pain. Yeah, sorry. I woke up and I was feeling a lot better. I really wanted to shower, but you were sleeping. So, Lance? He pushed himself to his feet, stumbling a few steps as he reached for Keith, eyes wide and mouth agape. His heart is in his throat, voice barely above a whisper as he echoes. You feel better? He brows furrowed, hers lips pursing into the adorable, contemplative scowl. Yeah, I can't really explain it. Pain is just gone. When I got to the bathroom, his voice trails up as he reaches up, within the towel his shoulders show. The wound has closed up. The zombie bite has closed up. Lance hurries forward, feeling himself being pulled by a string wrapped taut around his heart. Body moving on autopilot as he reaches Keith. As he reaches out and gingerly runs spins toward the crow's neck and shoulder. The scar is gnarly. It's jagged and red. Skin angry and puckered. But it's healed. No sign of blood or pus. Zombie bites aren't supposed to heal. They're supposed to fester as the infection spreads and Keith's healed. His gaze slips to find Keith's, finding them just as confused as the wheels. But there's something else there. Something glittering in the depths of those beautiful violet eyes. An ember. A spark. Something that Lance has seen or felt in days. At first he's not sure he's reading it correctly. But then Keith smiles, slow and hesitant, and that ember ignites the flame. Hope. It healed. Lance is barely daring to believe it. He's having a hard time processing it. It won't quite sink in. It healed, he echoes, sounding just as breathless as Lance, all hesitant and hopeful, scared and excited all at once. You're not in pain anymore? He shakes his head. No, no pain. But it takes Lance's hand, pressing the long flat to his chest. It takes him a moment to feel the pulse beneath his wrist. I feel fine, but my heartbeat is weirdly slow. I think this is going to sound strange, but I think I'm stronger. I feel faster, Like my reflexes are sharper. Lance's free hand lifts to Keith's face, cupping his cheek and smiles as Keith nods to him. Your eyes! Keith's smile dims, weight shifting as his gaze flickers away. So he knows. He knows exactly what Lance is going to say. The lick slips, lips that are no longer too pale or too chapped, pink and healthy and tempered. Does it look bad? His gaze flickers back and Lance takes a moment to study them. His eyes are the same, and they're no longer bloodshot, but the whites of his eyes have changed. There's a distinct yellowish gold tinge to them. Something that looked unhealthy. Keith didn't already look 100 times healthier than he had just last night. The fact that he's alive makes them the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. Beautiful as ever, he hums. Tilton is at his heels. It brings out the purple in your eyes. Keith smiles, so attentive, like a fog blooming. And Lance, unable to resist, blood with a dizzy adrenaline relief, leans forward to capture those lips. He never once stopped kissing this boy. He's there, and something has changed. He has a scar and everything. Okay, that's fine. You can tell by that. And feels a little alive. That's weird. And his eyes are look different than they had been. So, I guess he's not a zombie part now. I think he's a walker. Could be a walker, or could be or it's not a shambler, but it's kind of a walker. Is he a walker? I don't know, but who knows? Or it's just a different person that he is, or a different creature. We'll see. He, unfortunately, has to stop kissing them. Specifically when everyone comes bursting through the door because they saw on the quarantine camera feed that not only is Keith up and moving around, but Lance is smacking on it very enthusiastically, and Keith is responding with a lot more fervor than he should. His body was still racked again. In a flurry of movement, not unlike chaos, Keith whisked away to Coran's lab. They run tests, like a lot of tests. They run blood work and do a bunch of physical tests. All throughout the day, he gets hooked up to more machines than Lance was even aware they had. They have him run laps around the compound, only to find that his heart rate doesn't really go up very high anymore. He barely sweats. Apparently, not to mention he's definitely faster than normal. He's also stronger now, which is proven when he bench presses Lance, which is, yeah, that's new and definitely exciting. His skin has somewhat grayish, almost purplish color to it now. The whites of his eyes remain yellow, but other than that, he seems perfectly fine, perfectly alive. Changed a little, but alive. He's the person they ever seen who survived the virus. I don't think it actually has anything to do with cures Krang has been pumped into it. Are you certain? Laura asked. No Krang shook to read the test results. There are so many of them, all scattered around. He's not sure how to make sense of it, but they seem to. I'm positive. Grant is frowning, but it's not worried so much, just a little. We did blood tests for after everyone, and the virus ate through everything we gave. It was out of the system by the end of the day. They showed no signs of actually taking any sort of effect. Whatever happened to Keith, I can guarantee you that it wasn't us. Keith sits across the room in the examination table, and Lance sits behind him. His legs are bracketing Keith's hips, arms wrapped around his waist and pressed against his back. His chin is hooked over his shoulder, and Keith's head is tilted against his. Karan, Laura, Hitch, and Honk gather around the device and test results, pouring over the data. Sure doesn't bother getting involved, as scared as he is. He knows he's just getting in the way. Instead, stands with his arms folded over his chest, leaning back against the examination table. Within arm's reach of Keith, Lance knows he's just as relieved to find that he's okay. Maybe it's just Keith, Lance hums, nuzzling a little into the crook over his shoulder. It's an offhand comment, one that precedes the sound as he presses to the bare skin of his neck. He doesn't realize the impact of what he said until he feels Keith stiffen, and realizes the room was gone quiet. When he lifts his head, he finds everyone staring at him, face curiously back. What? What'd you say? Grant asks, and Lance frowns. Confusion pinching in between his brows. I said that maybe it's just Keith. Like, realization creeps up on him slowly, sinking in like a pebble in a still pond. He turns then to look at Keith, finally staring back. Like, maybe there's something in Keith's DNA that just makes him immune to the virus. And if that were the case, her says slowly, only for Pitch to slam her hands on the table, face the gosh on beacon, then holds the key to finishing the vaccine. Maybe even a cure, Punk adds. There's not a flirt of movement around the room. Everyone tries to speak for one another. Everyone's throwing out theories and ideas. Should this indeed be a conversation with Hong, or Pitch seems to be running off on her own? Allura and Cran scramble to find the vials of Keith's blood that they were taking. Moment blah, how the best way to figure whatever science, blah blah blah. It's all noise, all movement. Right here, right now, on this hard table, everything feels still and calm, peaceful. Because he is alive in his arms, warm inside against him. He is alive and breathing. They might actually have figured out how to manufacture a vaccine against the virus. So you mentioned that he is alive because that's really what's got him all bubbly in the chest and lightheaded. He Nelson's Keith's neck, pressing and kissing the spot where he knows the scar looks between his shirts. He leans into him, hands straight over Lance's. I think I'm starting to understand this whole thing. He hums, content and at peace. Lance chuckles, hugging his chin over each other. I can't believe my boyfriend holds the key to figuring out how to stop this plague. You're like the future. He lets out a long sigh, letting all the tension he's been holding leak out of it, leaving him relaxed and moments. I definitely think you're my future. He hums again, low and thoughtful. His fingers illy trace Lance's fingers, however pointedly around the third. I think you're my future too. And that's it. And they had to keep examining how why his key is on it. And then there's some DNAs they had to test it out to make sure it's okay. And they have all ideas and yeah, because he has his own DNA and there is key because key is the key to help out of this virus. And then a lot of people are starting to find some theories to make sure where their vaccines so that everybody can be cured. I mean, it's key. He can do something very different for that. I don't know what the zombie gave him, but he got bit around his neck, but he's stronger when he's alive. That's weird. So yeah. So his DNA, oh, for bit and all this stuff, it makes him immune to whatever the virus is gonna be. And he's okay. He's cured. So yeah. I don't know what key holds in the key, but that definitely helps out with this entire thing to make sure everyone gets safe and everyone gets immune. But wow, it's very amazing because they found the answer to that. And yeah, Lance knows that he was the future to everything. It's really amazing. Oh yeah, I forgot that I closed out now. Before I have to let you guys go, I'm gonna have to do for next week, right? Next week I have an SW and then I have a regular pick. So there's only 3 left. So we have Of Gods and Apples, Of Misunderstandings and Serenades, and Of Freedom and Flames. So we're down to just 3. See which one's going to land. All right, Of Freedom and Flames is going to be the next one. Okay, let me see. I'm going to add that one. And one more, and it's the NSW. So I have one more to do. And I have one more thing to do. Hold on a second. I'm just going to sign in. Oops. So all it comes down with this one. It's the 50-50 shot. It's you got me like that base. You got me like a base. That you got me like that base, and you got me like a pass. We knew the next one shot we're gonna be. Knew the next one shot, regular one shot. It's Of Freedom Flames. It's a Firebird, and it's Strangers to Lovers. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's just this one. It's not only this one. There's another one as well. So the only fix that I have not read for the NCW ones are Becoming Like That Base and Becoming Like a Penthouse Suites. That's it. It's only two of them. One of them is gonna be next week, and the other one will be on the final week of this project. Okay, let's see. Next one is You Got Me Like That Bass. That will be the next one. That will be the next NSW. So that means You Got Me Like a Pansy will be the final week of the project. So yeah, there you go. So that means we're done with the 7 so that we already know which one is for next week and which one is the final week. All right, guess we're done here. Oh, by the way, on the base it's a stripper. There's mutual pining in there, and there's this one. Yep, we're getting for some stripper stuff, guys. That would be the NCW stuff, so we'll deal with that later. But for now, I'll see you guys next time with whatever the new, either the NCW or the regular fic. Who knows? Alright, guys.